888-848-8226. For a free consultation, call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief. It's 850-784-8176 or visit irsproblemrelief.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Your safety and proper care of your boat in an emergency is crucial. When it comes to on-water assistance, response time is everything. And since 1996, in the Bay or on the Gulf, it's Sea-Tow. Sea-Tow's Coast Guard licensed captains are on the scene in an average of 1 hour or less. Sea-Tow gets members home or back to boating faster. Become a member today at seatow.com or call 850-234-2323.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat. The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Tuesday morning. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the beautiful Forgotten Coast. You can watch, like, listen, comment, subscribe, share, and the ones I combine together sometimes. You can do that all on our social channels. That's Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Just search up ESPN Northwest Florida. And if you don't have it downloaded already, you don't listen to us every day. So here's your opportunity to do it. Jay, our free mobile app, where can you find that bad boy?
On the Google Play or Apple Store.
And you have to
type in 104.3.
That's it. Because if you don't put the 104.3 before ESPN Northwest Florida, you will not find the app. Of course, you can follow us on TikTok, Inside.Drive. And then last but not least, if you want to, you can go to ESPNPC.com. Because everybody's still got to have a website, right?
That's right.
You got a website, right?
Yep. www.golfwithj.com.
I would assume HTTPS... // W, because it's a secure site.
That's right.
It's got to be.
It is.
You're processing credit cards.
Yes, sir.
There you go. It is Tuesday. We got a great show lined up for you. As always, we got Doc A at 11:20, bringing the tunes in this morning, mixing it up for us a little bit, getting us fired up. Smitty behind the glass. Smitty.
Good morning.
There you go.
This is fun. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you in, and we're going to have a lot of fun today, Jay. We're going to do some stuff. I'm going to quiz you a little bit. We got to get you ready for fantasy football, right?
Yeah.
That means, you got to understand the names, the players, the teams, and all that. So we're going to jump into that a little bit later on. Maybe talk a little Olympics, because here we are only 2 days away from the first event, even though the open ceremonies are on Friday.
Okay.
Do need to talk about, though, me and the kiddos went and saw Twisters yesterday afternoon, little matinee, and you had seen it already and said it was awesome. And, that was really the first, I don't want to call it an adult movie, but the first... I guess it was an adult movie besides, a Minions or some kind of more driven towards kids. And,
right.
They had both, I had them both watch Twister, the original one, over the last couple weeks. That way they were ready for it. And, we saw it in the 40X theater, which is always exciting.
Yeah.
But, man, awesome movie. And, I'm not going to spoil anything, but a lot of...
You spent all that good money, and all you had to do was come stand on my back porch yesterday about 1 o'clock.
There you go.
I mean, I got
Twister?
fired up. I mean, vertical winds and furniture flying and lightning bolts splitting trees.
Man.
And at the time, I was trying to move some dead trees with a tractor. And all of a sudden, all hell broke loose.
Just little cell popped up and brought the heat.
Little cell that lasted about 45 minutes.
Ooh, that's a good
And it
one.
was just like, it was a war zone.
Yeah.
I live up in the Sand Hills,
Gotcha.
Crystal Lake area, and that's where it hit. And I'll tell you what, that's how I was thinking about that movie, Twister.
Yeah,
I
no
was
doubt.
definitely thinking about it. And just out, and I crawled underneath the coffee table
Yeah, hey, you never know. So, but you got to be safe.
to push the dogs out of the way.
Yeah, there you go. They're always intuitive. They always go there first.
Yeah,
that's for
that's
sure.
right.
I remember random, but I grew up in the Bay Area. I was only there for 5.5-ish years, but we were there for the '89 earthquake, and I don't remember a whole lot other than like paint cans falling in the garage, the fish tank swaying. But the dog was under the coffee table probably 5 minutes before anything happened.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's pretty impressive, the intuitiveness of animals.
Well, Smitty said something about the Sand Hills, right? Well, I was talking to Joanna the other day. I think there needs to be 2 different weather forecasts. You need a beach forecast and you need a Sand Hill forecast.
Yeah, and
right?
the beach forecast, the Highway 20 forecast,
Yep.
and the Highway 10 forecast.
Absolutely,
go. There you
absolutely.
go.
That covers the whole spectrum.
Any coastal area, you're always going to have different weather patterns because of the pressure and
The
all
land
that. But
and the
yeah,
heat coming off of the land mixing with
Absolutely.
Well, we could talk about meteorological stuff.
we
but,
could talk about convection. We could talk about air pressure, moisture, all that good stuff. But yeah, no, it was. I was, we haven't really gone to the movies a whole lot. Now we've gone to the movies several times this summer because there's been some movies the kids wanted to see. But other than that, we go maybe once every couple of years.
Right.
But yeah, Twisters was cool. It was cool. The 4DX stuff. The theater was packed again. We tried to go on Sunday, but it was sold out, and the theater was packed. And I think a lot of people that were in that theater had not done 4DX before.
Yeah.
So when that opening scene happens and you get thrown around quite a bit, and then everybody, when it stopped, everybody was like laughing and like, oh my gosh. So because you had a lady that was in your theater that seemed like she never had experienced 4DX either.
No, and I couldn't watch the movie because I was watching her. It was insane. We were front row, and she was being tossed around left, right. Popcorn was going up in the air. It was great. It was absolutely great. But now let me ask you this though, Ryan, because what type of person are you? Let's say it's an 8:30 showtime. Okay,
At night?
at night.
Who that's late?
What time? Yeah, what time are you typically getting to the theater? Because I know you like to be on time.
I do. I always, and that's probably one of the biggest things that drives me crazy with my kids sometimes. And they're getting there. They're getting there. But my sense of urgency is different than theirs. But, we tried to get there just a few minutes. We got there about 10 minutes before it starts because it doesn't really start at the showtime. They've got 15 minutes worth of previews nowadays.
That was going to be my thing. So 8:30 showtime last Thursday night. I looked at my clock just to clarify this, right? It was 9:05. It was 35 minutes later until the opening scene came up. So look, if you're 15 minutes late to a movie,
You're not actually late.
You're not late.
Well, that's a good point, too. Like, if you're planning something after the movie and you look at the movie's an hour and 45 minutes, it's not an hour and 45 minutes from when those previews start. It's an hour and 45 minutes from when the movie starts.
That's right.
So you may be looking at, 30 minutes longer than you originally thought.
Yeah.
A good little moviegoer tip there, Jay Henley.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. And then, of course, we got some, concessions because we've learned how to really pare it down to exactly what we need because it's insane how much everything costs. But there was a gentleman in front of us, and you know how you pick the line and you're like, oh, I'm going to pick the line that I think is going to go the shortest. Well, there was only one person in front of us in this one line, and we decided to go in that one. And literally, like 12 minutes later, I had time to get out of the line, go to the bathroom, come back into the line. After already waiting several minutes, he ordered like probably $150 worth of stuff. I think he had a big group, but it took some time.
So he ordered 2 Cokes and a Skittle?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. No. But looking back on it, I should have done this because I think this is our 3rd movie this summer, and I should have just done that monthly unlimited thing because that's a heck of a deal if you are a frequent moviegoer.
Right.
Because I think it's like $12 a month or something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
You go twice, you can't beat. Or no, I think it's closer to like $20 a month. But if you go twice or something, it's paying for itself.
Absolutely.
Not that I'm trying to advocate for that, but I was just I should have made a better financial decision prior to the summer. Although I didn't know all these good movies were coming out so quick. There's some good ones look like coming up this fall as well.
Yeah, there
The
is.
previews for movies at a Minions or a Twisters are 2 completely different sets of previews.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, makes sense because
Right.
it's your audience. But anyway, if you are on the fence about going to see it, I would suggest going to see it, especially if you love the first one. Because it's very similar to the first one, but in the 2024 modern technology action just stuff is fun.
Well, I don't want to spoil it. I don't know. I mean, it's like Helen Hunt.
I'm dying to know. I'm dying to know because in the first one they were just wanting to do measurement.
Yeah.
But it seems like from the trailers on the first one, I mean, on the new one, that they want to destroy, blow
Yes.
it, and so.
Yep. That is the theme.
That's the premise
The
of-
first movie was how do we measure and understand tornadoes. This one was how do we stop tornadoes. And it was good.
It was such a love story in the original.
Yeah, and this,
in Bill Paxton,
Yeah, I
Helen
guess that's
Hunt,
right. Yeah.
kissed at the end.
Yeah.
And, it's like living happily ever after.
nothing.
And yeah,
There was one mooch in the beginning of the movie, and that was it.
that's it. And I was like, whoa, come on.
Yeah.
Where's the love?
Where's the nudity in this where the storm rips off the woman's clothes?
Now that's
she goes running buck naked through the.
that you can't see in theaters, but you can pay for that one if you want to. That's I can think of a title, but I'm not going to say.
They called that in the back of the day NC-17, I think. Is that what they called that?
NC-17. Yeah, there you go. There you go. But yeah, there wasn't really a love story.
I know.
I thought it was going to keep leaning towards it, but it was almost like a love triangle at one point. But
it makes you think. It's like, did they end up together or didn't they? And I don't think they did.
well,
Anyways.
at the end,
Sorry.
they're together at the end, so we'll see. We'll
But
see.
a kiss would have secured that.
I know.
Anyways.
He wanted one. But she wouldn't do it.
She wouldn't do it.
She wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in her acting contract that she doesn't kiss.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really know who she was prior to this movie either. I still can't tell you her actual name.
I can't either. I can't either. I don't know.
You know what you can tell us?
What?
And that's we haven't had one. I don't think we had one last. Did we have one last week? Well,
Did
you were
we?
back last week.
I
Yeah,
was.
we had one last week. We had one last Tuesday.
Oh, it was the British Open.
Yes, how to hit it low. That was last year's or last week's tip of the week was how to hit it low because it was breezy out there in the Open Championship. But we'll hit that sounder and see what you got for us this week. I'm not asking you a question this week.
Oh boy,
I know.
Put me on the spot.
Unless you really, really need me to.
We're gonna go with something.
Jay's tip of the week. Here we
Jay.
go.
It's Jay's golf tip of the week.
I like how the sounder 2 says golf tip of the week, so we don't get tips of the week. But
Life tip or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Thinking back on some of the students
I like that.
I've had in
You do, and you'll clean it up.
the previous weeks. Ball striking, right?
Oh, we hear Keith say that word about 60 times every Wednesday from 12 to 12:40.
Yep. Yeah, ball striking. So what do you think, Ryan, just let me ask you this. What do you think is number one key in hitting the ball, well, or hitting, like compressing the ball, I guess, if you will.
There's a lot of things I can think of.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a Jay Henley answer at you.
Okay.
Rhythm and balance.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's in everything, all aspects, rhythm and balance is good.
Yeah, that's true. Every sport, every activity, rhythm and balance is key. That's
Yeah.
why I was terrible at dancing. No
Same
rhythm.
here.
I could balance, but dancing not so much.
What if, I know we don't have a lot of downhill lies here.
It's true. It's true. You talking about a little bit of hands forward, shaft lean, weight forward? You talking about a little bit of that action?
Or maybe get a shoebox or something where you create that downhill lie. And if you just really went to a range session and really hit a bunch of golf balls for an afternoon.
And when you say a downhill lie, your front foot is below your back foot.
That's right.
I like
That's
this.
right.
This is good.
And you just create that. And see, that's the thing is if you did that for 2 hours and then you tried to recreate that on the driving range, on a level ground, and try to recreate that feeling, man,
Should be easier, right?
it should be way easier.
Because you've just because basically what you're saying, so if you stand on your front foot is below your back foot, meaning you're going downhill, kind of not, ball below you, ball above you, but
Right.
ball level, but you're going downhill. You have to get your weight forward. You have to get everything on that front side in order to make solid contact.
Yeah.
That's a great tip. I've never utilized that one, thought about that one.
We don't have hills.
Yeah, but you can do it. You can simulate it with
could.
something. That's
Yeah.
the nice thing about golf is you can kind of just find something and make it work.
Because how many beginners are on their trail foot whenever they
I
finish?
think of Liam.
Everybody.
Liam, I mean, he hasn't played much golf recently, but when he was working last year, we played a lot, and he played in a tournament. But that's one thing, like he doesn't know how to, and most young kids, some figure it out, which is fantastic, is how to hold those hands and really impact the ball and then the turf. It's natural to think with golf, especially for beginners, beginners and young kids that you have to kind of scoop the ball to make it go in the air, which is the throw your hands out there like you're casting a fishing pole, which that's actually completely detrimental because that club's going to come in heavy. It's going to come in short. It's going to make you have to pop up. It just leads to so many bad habits. But that's a great drill to kind of make that work. That's a good one. That's one I may use for Liam down the road.
Yeah, because
he's got the swing, he's got the mechanics. He doesn't know how to compress the ball to get onto, because you can't get on your left side unless you're compressing the ball. Right. That sequence has to happen that way.
Grip, divot, and pivot.
Grip, divot, and pivot.
Or pivot,
Grip,
pivot.
GPD. I was going to say GDP, but GPD. The opposite of gross domestic product.
That one's taken anyway.
Yeah.
Gross national product.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Which they don't even talk about that anymore because it's probably so bad. But anyway, that's a great tip. Great tip. I like that one. You came hard today. I wasn't ready for that.
I wasn't either. It just got to me about 11 this morning. Oh, I made a wish.
There you go.
I made a wish.
Did you knock on wood, though?
I just did.
There's some wood trim on that window. It's now 11:14 though, so I think that hopefully doesn't backfire.
Right.
Hopefully doesn't backfire. But you also, if you want to work with Jay, there's golfwithjay.com. But it'll be right around the corner. Oof. September 9th is the first day of the Monday Fall Junior Series.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody about that a little bit.
So 2024 Bay Point Fall Junior Development Program kicks off Monday, September 9th. You can get your child registered at golfwithjay.com. That's JAY.com. That is every Monday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., September 9th through November 18th. Last year, we did a parent-child to kind of end that tournament. The winner of that, I'll go ahead and say, was Liam and Ryan Mulvey, if you remember that, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
absolutely.
They still have the trophy.
Yes.
I hope.
Yeah,
but,
it's I think it's Liam's one of his most prized
yes, sir.
prized trophies, that's for sure.
But this year we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a drive, chip, and putt tournament, if you will.
Ooh.
November 18th. It's going to be on a Monday, and we're basically just going to do the drive, chip, and putt format that happens what the PGA of America does.
No need to reinvent the wheels, that's for sure.
But throughout this whole fall, kids will have the chance to putt, chip. They'll learn pitching fundamentals, full swing. We'll do some on-course stuff. We'll hit drivers. I mean, we're going to do the whole deal. Some Arnold golfers will hopefully be out there on Mondays, throughout the fall helping with the kids. And then, Michael Shears, if he's in town, will hopefully be a part of that as well. So, great help. With the kids and everything, and it's just such a great time. The weather's good, and we look forward to seeing you guys out at Bay Point this fall.
Best time of year for golf, right?
It is. Yep.
There you go. Yep. There you go. And you've got if you don't want to say anything, we don't have to. But
I think it's out.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it's right around the corner, right? Season's starting here soon.
Coaches meeting for golf for the fall is this Friday.
This will be your third season coaching golf. But you've got a new school that you're trying to bring to the state championships.
I am. I went from red and black to now baby blue.
Is it baby blue?
Is it?
I think it's more of like the blue you got on.
Is it that dark? Okay, well,
I think so.
Needless to say, Arnold
yeah, there you go.
Marlin,
Sorry, I didn't mean to dissect your color there, but yes.
Yeah. So this will be a first year coaching for me at Arnold, and I'm looking forward to it. I do see a lot of the Arnold kids out practicing, getting better, and I'm just looking forward to a great golf season ahead. We're going to kick this off here in the next few weeks. And,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
This program right here, I know there's a lot of good things going on at Arnold High School on the sports section of things with the soccer team and, the dive team and different things like that. But golf, with my viewpoint, these guys have a chance to really take it deep to the state championship, come November.
Absolutely. And you got some big shoes to fill, Zeus, Paul Zeus, he's moved on out of the green grass business, and I believe he's selling with Stitch now as an apparel representative. So, some big shoes to fill with Mr. Cool Paul. But,
can never replace those shoes.
You can't replace them, but I think you can put on a new pair and maybe take it to the next level.
We'll see.
So we'll look forward to following you over there at Arnold High School this fall coming up.
I'm
Short
looking forward
season
to it.
kind of gets underway right when school starts, and then you're playing county championships. What, early October?
Yeah, and then districts in Pensacola the week of Halloween typically. And if you don't make districts, if you're not top 2 at districts, that's the end of the season. So I mean, it is a very short season. But it's fun though.
Yeah. Your golf season in high school, was it fall or spring?
Mine was spring.
Yeah.
And it would typically kick off around Daytona 500 week, which was the second week in February.
Yep, absolutely.
And then state championship was in Jekyll Island in Georgia in May.
Huh? Yeah. See,
so that was a long season.
That's kind of same boat for us. Even in New Jersey, we did it in the spring, not in the fall. Now we'd start practicing usually in March, but you still got snow and ice and stuff in March. So sometimes you'd just be working at the drive, because we practiced at actual driving ranges.
Yeah.
And we had practice runs on courses and stuff like that, but our main practice focus was at matted driving ranges. The driving range you think of with the heater on the top and the bays, the old school. That's how we rolled.
Yikes.
No green grass, no putting greens, just mats.
What? Not until April.
Well, even April, that would still be our practice besides play, because there's just not a lot of like public golf courses with driving ranges up there. There's so many golf courses now. All your private facilities certainly had driving ranges and stuff like that. At least 25-ish. No, shoot, probably more than that now at this point. But yeah, at least back then, that's for sure. So, but yeah, it was a long season. Started in March, usually ran till late May, sometimes even early June, depending on how far you advanced in the state championship. That's for sure. But we got our good friend coming up. It's Tuesday. That's Doc A. We are looking forward to getting him on the line. I think he's got a story about something that happened on this day back in 1984. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
It's the best, easiest martial arts for the average person on the street to learn, protect themselves.
Jiu-jitsu, to me, I would think is the most important. Self-defense martial arts. It teaches you self-discipline. You can choose to hurt somebody, you can choose not to hurt somebody. Depends on their level of stupidity and what they want to do.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a possibility of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine, and a high of 90 with a gentle breeze coming out of the south at 10 miles per hour. For tonight, a mixture of mostly clear skies and a possibility of thunderstorms and a low near 79. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and a high around 88. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Discover the most convenient way to buy men's clothing. Pierce Bespoke. Whether it's custom or casual, they come to you to take the hassle out of shopping. If buying off the rack doesn't work for you, let Pierce Bespoke show you how to get the perfect fit. Call Pierce Bespoke to schedule your appointment. 251-278-8270. That's 251-278-8270.
Every game matters as the Atlanta Braves keep battling in the East, and you won't want to miss a pitch.
2-0 pitch. Swung on and rocked down the left field line. Rolling down the line all the way to the wall. 2-1 Atlanta here in the fourth.
Tonight, don't miss Atlanta Braves baseball as Snit and the boys get another shot at Ellie De La Cruz and the Cincinnati Reds at Truist Park.
Coverage starts at 6, first pitch at 6:20 on your exclusive home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. He gives out raw scallops and Time magazines for Halloween. Jay is part of the Inside Drive. ESPN Northwest Florida. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. And now,
Doctor, my eyes.
Doc A joins the Inside Drive. It's just what the doctor ordered.
Oh, doctor! Talk to your doctor before use.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
All right, we are back. It's Tuesday. One of the best rejoiner intros for one of our guests, I think, in radio history. Jay Henley, what do you think?
I would agree.
It's pretty fantastic. And that's our good friend, Doc A. Doc, how are you on this Tuesday morning?
Well, I was just sitting here thinking, I cannot believe they put that intro together for me. How cool is that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We got to get that, I got to get that clipped out and just let you kind of carry it around with you. And that way when, you're about to walk into a restaurant or back home, you just play that, then you walk through the door.
Well, yeah, I can hit them with the Hall of Fame plaque and then back it up with the doctor intro.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Doc A, before the show, Ryan said, hey, we got Doc A at 11:20, and you know what? Immediately what I did? I went and got a Dr. Pepper from the refrigerator. So every time I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper, I'm thinking of you, Doc.
Yeah, and you can't drink a Mr. Pibb, right?
No. I heard that Los Rancheros commercial, and it kind of made me want to go to Los Rancheros.
It's there's a lot of people that, including my wife and son, who live and die by Los Rancheros.
Same with my
is
kids.
For sure. I've eaten more Mexican food. That was best food of choice when she had both pregnancies was Mexican. So
right.
I like it, but the dead horse has been beat for me. So I kind of leave that to those to them to do it. But Doc, it's Tuesday, and the Olympics are getting underway this Friday. I think Team USA actually gets underway on Saturday. But obviously they have not lost a game in this USA basketball showcase. Had a couple close calls. I mean, they took care of business against Australia, only won by 6. Serbia, more what we kind of expected. I believe that's who they open with as well in the Olympics. But what do you think about the little scare they had there with the South Sudan, the youngest country in the world? Kind of bringing the heat, needed a layup from LeBron late, and then South Sudan actually had 3 or 4 chances to put back there at the end of the game.
Yeah, and really the guy that they got the last rebound and went up with it, he could have been fouled. Like, they could have called that easily. And that clutch three-pointer that guy hit before LeBron hit his layup was pretty crazy. And I'll tell you what, I was at my spot, Johnny B's playing Golden Tee, and there were no on the TV, and I looked down on the guy, and I was like, oh my gosh, Team USA's playing right now. So we turn it on, and they're down 10 near the end of the third quarter, and I was like, this is South Sudan. What is happening?
Like they just became a country, like recently. Oh, man.
Yeah, and the incredible thing about this is LeBron is easily the best player on Team USA, and he's almost 40 years old.
Yeah.
And now Kevin Durant's still not playing, and we don't know when he's going to play, yet they kicked Kawhi Leonard off the team when he supposedly was healthy. So, man, I don't know. I'm starting to wonder about Steve Kerr a little bit.
Yeah, maybe he's doesn't have the fire or the quote-unquote cojones to, really go up against LeBron, which kind of seems like the theme when he's been on teams at the Lakers and stuff like that as well.
Well, yeah, and then he's also not using Tyrese Halliburton at all. And in my opinion, Tyrese Halliburton is one of the best point guards in the league. And, I mean, we saw them almost get beat by South Sudan. They almost lost the night before last. Like, I don't know. I don't have a ton of confidence right now, and I don't think anybody does going into the real games.
Yeah, and that was going to kind of be my follow-up question. Is there like a switch, or is these exhibition games leading up to the Olympics just hey, maybe we don't go as hard as we will in the actual Olympic Games, or is it just the actual reality of the team when you get a bunch of superstars and run by one of the oldest guys in the league that you're just maybe these young guys probably have the fire, like Halliburton and these young guys, they've never played in the Olympics before. These guys, I mean, how many Olympics is this now for LeBron and KD, and some of these guys have been going on forever. So, do they still have that same drive to want to win a gold medal? I would assume so, but, maybe some of the younger guys in there have a little more fire. I don't know. That's just kind of looking from the outside in.
Well, and it's funny because I sent you that article about the 1984 Team USA game in Indianapolis, and they were playing a team of NBA All-Stars. And Team USA, which was all college kids at that time, including Michael Jordan, they went undefeated on that tour, but it was because Bob Knight told the NBA players they had to let Team USA win. That's not really what we're seeing in these games. Like, these countries want to beat us so bad. Like, that would have been one of the biggest stories in South Sudan history. And not just sports, but the whole everything, had they won that game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was looking at something, too, before we dive into what you were talking about. 1992, the Dream Team faced 9 players in the Olympics that played in the NBA. This year, 61 total NBA players will be in the Olympics. Now, albeit a lot of these guys are probably on the bench in the Olympics, but that's, almost, 8 times more in, 20 or 32 years. So is that more a testament to just the expansion of the game and how we're seeing it with the draft now too, all these international players, and maybe now it's really starting to bleed over into the international competitions?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that for like 10 years. It seems like the Spurs were sort of the pioneers of drafting some guy no one had ever heard of and stashing him away, and then next thing you know, he's a pretty good player. And Dirk Nowitzki kind of started it all. I think he's sort of the godfather, but and it also says a lot that the 2 best players in the league are both from overseas, Luka and Jokic. Yeah. So it's nothing is easy for Team USA in basketball anymore.
Which I think is good. And it's awesome to win gold medals, but you want a little bit of parity, right, Jay? You don't want to just go out and win every game by 20-plus points. You want to see them struggle. You want to see them grind it out for wins. So maybe we need to back off being so critical because it's, better for entertainment and competition.
Well, these kids are...
Were you guys... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it seems like these kids are a lot younger, maybe going back to the Dream Team of 92, 93. I feel like they were a bit older, maybe in their mid to late 20s. But, I mean, we've got kids, in this Olympic game, right? I mean, they're basically kids.
Yeah, a lot of youngsters.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm curious, how did you guys feel about the USA-Sudan game? Did you find yourself rooting for Sudan?
I'm going to be perfectly honest, yes. I did. And the reason why is because if they would have won that game, hey, boys, wake-up call. That's where I always like when a lot of the various youth teams I coach, it's nice every once in a while, and it's a weird way to say it, but to lose a game because it kind of refocuses you, resets the mindset. Hey, we're not out here. We're not going to be able to just beat every team. And I think, a loss maybe to a country that's relatively new would have woke the team up a little bit and maybe, made them look in the mirror and say, hey, if we don't do what we need to do, we could easily not win the gold medal in this thing.
Yeah, and I kind of felt like a bad American, oh, come on, South Sudan. But, I mean, had they won that game, it just would have been so cool for them. I mean, it would have been so monumental.
I mean, do we know much about Sudan at all?
The South Sudan gained independence on July 9th, 2011. Okay. So they've only been a country for a little over 13 years, and here they are competing in basketball on a world stage pretty well, as indeed. So
would this be a first world country? Or
no? No. Although I don't even know what the United States is anymore, so I can't really answer that question. Yeah.
Luol Deng is running the show for that South Sudan team, and I think they've only got one NBA player, Wenyan Gabriel, I think, is the one guy.
Man. Good stuff. I mean, good for South Sudan, though. You know, a tiny little country, and obviously they probably have basketball, kind of like, you know, football or soccer in other countries. They're, you know, playing, growing up constantly, just playing, working on development. You know, because that's the one thing, and we talk about this all the time, Doc, and I know you want to get to your story about the 1984 game, but, you know, we in America have a tendency to put, you know, the money and the tournaments and all that kind of ahead of the development sometimes. We talked to Arnold high school soccer coach Jonah Hammond. They were also the national champions this year in the entire country for high school soccer, which was pretty cool. But I was like, what is wrong with, you know, American soccer versus all these other countries? Why on the men's side can we never break through? And he said it goes back to development. A lot of these other countries, they just focus on development. So by the time they're starting to play meaningful games, they're so developed and so good. And that's where I could see like some of these other countries like South Sudan and, you know, a lot of countries with soccer that, you know, they're not playing tournaments. They're just working on getting better at the game. So by the time they start playing meaningful games, they've gotten really good at development.
Well, I think that's an interesting question. I could see both sides of that argument, you know.
Think about the distractions that we have here, though, right? Like, there's a lot of distractions here. Maybe in South Sudan, maybe it's basketball or nothing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm sure they don't have cell phones that they're texting and tweeting and all that good stuff. Yeah. So who knows? But
are you guys dying for football season to get here? Like this slow time in the sports world is a bad time for me to have all this free time on my hands. I only do like one podcast a day. So now all this political crap going on, I'm just like, I find myself getting lost in Twitter and ending up going down these rabbit holes and conspiracy theories. And my buddy that I play golf with, John Utterback, like I'm texting him memes all day, and I'm sure he's like, dude, I'm trying to work. Like, do you not have anything else to do?
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, I mean, and kind of the U.S. The Open Championship. Once that come and gone, you kind of know. All right, we're close. But we still got, you know, what is it, Jay? We got 32 days for college football and 44 days for NFL football. But at least this year, we do have the Summer Olympics. So that'll get us kind of through 2 weeks of being able to watch all sorts of random sports that we never would have been able to watch normally. So I am kind of looking forward to the Olympics kind of being that little bridge this year between kind of the end of the major golf season and going into football season. So, and so many changes this year as well. So the Olympics will be fun. Be fun. But you had mentioned it before, Doc. This day, or in history, many years ago, 1984, you were talking about Bobby Knight and Alford led Team USA in front of a record basketball crowd. You said you had a kind of a fun story with that one.
I don't know if it's fun or not, but on my podcast yesterday, my buddy, my co-host Aaron Bruschi asked me. He said, "Do you have any Olympic shoe stories?" And I was like, actually, I think I do.
Of course.
So, it's crazy looking back on it, because at the time I thought that game was meaningless because it was an exhibition game.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, the players that were in that game, Larry Bird and Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas and Bob Knight was there. And did you happen to read who's the famous Tennessee women's basketball coach?
Pat Summitt?
Yeah, Pat Summitt was coaching the warm-up game, which was the women's Team USA. And so all that was going on. And my brother and I had bought tickets to this game because we lived in Indianapolis. It was in the Hoosier Dome. And it was the first event ever held in the Hoosier Dome. And Colts had just gotten there, and they were going to be playing, in September. But July 9th of that year was the first event in that arena. And the tickets that we had were at the very top row underneath the video board. So not only could we not see the court, we could not see the video screen either. And I think we paid like $5 for the tickets. But I had no idea who I was watching play basketball. There were 68,000 people at this game. At the time, it was the highest attended indoor basketball game of all time.
Yep.
So, anyway, I never found out where Team USA was staying, apparently. But the NBA All-Stars were staying where they always stay, and that was at the Hyatt, I think. And I went over there, and I walk in the lobby after the game, and Isaiah Thomas and Mark Aguirre are standing there talking to each other. And Isaiah's got his bag of stuff with him. I think he's getting ready to go back home. And I go up to him, I'm like, hey, Isaiah, have you given your shoes away? He's like, no. I'm like, do you think I could have them? And he goes, okay. And he pulls them out of his bag and hands them to me. I asked him to sign it, and he signed it, and he was totally annoyed that I was bothering him. But he gave me those shoes. So, I mean, to me, that's kind of a piece of history, I guess.
Oh, 100%. You know, I asked you, I think it was last week, what the most, value, the highest value, one of the most unique pairs of shoes that you have. But I think this one probably definitely takes the cake.
Right?
I think I like Dominique's better. But, yeah, the Isaiah Thomas ones are pretty good. I mean, he won a national championship. He won world NBA titles, covers the Sports Illustrated and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool. That's for sure.
So I was reading right here. This was the last year of the Olympics where this was amateur level basketball.
Yep.
So after that, it was free for all.
Because Team USA was what? All college players at that point, Doc?
Yep. It was Michael Jordan, Steve Alford, Vern Fleming, Alvin Robertson, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it was all college kids.
And was it
Coach Knight?
Go ahead.
Coach Knight was so mean to Wayman Tisdale. Wayman was on that team, and apparently Coach Knight did not like Billy Tubbs, the way he played basketball or the way he ran his organization. And he took it out on Wayman, who played for Billy at Oklahoma. Ooh. And I guess he was kicking Wayman out of practices and stuff. And Wayman gave me his shoes too. He was a second overall pick to the Pacers, somewhere around there, and I think that next draft. And Wayman was like one of the nicest guys you could ever meet, but I guess Knight just beat him down.
About one of many.
Like a chair.
Yeah, that's the definition of hard coaching, no doubt. But yeah, Doc, great stuff. We appreciate you as always, and don't send too many, or send me some memes. I want to be part of the fun rabbit hole that you're diving down to.
Oh, I gotta get out of it, man. It's killing me.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Doc, we appreciate your time as always, and look forward to talking to you next week after I think Team USA will have one game in the books against Serbia in the 2024 Olympics. Doc, have a great rest of your week.
All right, enjoy the Olympics, boys.
Yes, sir. You too. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Women's basketball has been sort of sending a message. Caitlin Clark is not quite ready. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And the more I watch Caitlin Clark, the more I'm convinced women's basketball isn't ready. Caitlin Clark's more than ready.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Love a great deal? This is the big one. The big one sales event is going on now, and you can get 3.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on Camry's new elevated design. Make every drive count and get 2.99% on the stylish Corolla. Rule every adventure and get 2.99% on a new RAV4. Or enjoy the power and get 1.99% on the tough Tundra. Come see us for the big one at Panama City Toyota.
Offer ends July 31st. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com for details.
You owe the IRS back taxes, and dealing with the IRS stresses you out. Fortunately, IRS Problem Relief can help you resolve back taxes and represent you to the IRS so you don't have to face them alone. Last year, IRS Problem Relief saved clients drowning in tax debt. And IRS Problem Relief is a local company right here in Panama City, not some 800 number where you can never talk to the same person twice. Put those problems behind you so you can focus on moving forward. Call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief, 850-784-8176. For a free consultation, call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief. It's 850-784-8176 or visit irsproblemrelief.com.
For the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley.
This man is destroying golf.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studio.
You may be right, but our ratings are up and we're attracting new youthful sponsors.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay Henley.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready for fantasy football season?
That's a tough question, Ryan, because I just don't know if I am.
So
I really don't.
The answer probably no?
Probably no.
All right, well, it's right around the corner. I mean, it's not super close, but it's time to start getting ready and getting prepared. And we're going to have a little test for you here in this segment. We're going to have you pick some players and see if I can get you in the top. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask the question, am I invited back, number one? Because I feel like I got my hand slapped quite a few times from a lot of people last.
Yeah, but that's no reason to not let you play again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You got a lot of responsibility. You got the Bay Point League, and you also got the ESPN Inside Drive League, which I think everything's pretty much. I think we're on a waiting list now at this point.
Okay.
So, a lot of people. 52 participants in ESPN Northwest Florida Fantasy Football coming up. Again, if you are involved in that, that'll be at PCB Hobby on August 25th, 6:30 p.m. We'll get started, and we'll have to fly because that's a lot of people to get through and a lot of drafts to go through. I mean, Champions League. That's going to be if you're in the Champions League. Congratulations. This will be the first time it's a 16 players because we have 4 leagues now, and you're really going to have to do some homework on a 16 player or 16 team draft because once you get into those later rounds, it's going to be the people available are going to be slim to none, no doubt about that. But Jay, let's have some fun. I want to see if you can. And this is I use a lot of information from Fantasy Pros, of course, and this is specific to a PPR league, Jay, which is a points per reception league, which means you get points every time a carry is done or a catch is done as well. But I want you to name some people in the wide receiver category, and I want to see if they're in the top 20 according to your ADP, which is your average draft position between all the leagues. All right?
All right.
Give me one name. I like this.
Yeah, well, that can keep going. What do I have, like 60 seconds or something like that?
No, a live draft, there's not really a timer, but you don't want to take forever because then people start getting mad at you.
Yeah, done.
Got it with the X. You're
X,
out.
I'm out.
Come on, one name.
Final Jeopardy.
Because I need your mind to start thinking.
Odell Beckham?
Yeah, that's a name, but that's not in the, let's see where his ADP is. Odell Beckham Jr. Let's see. I have to go down a little bit. I wasn't ready. You did throw me for a loop there, that's for sure. All right, Odell Beckham Jr. I don't even know if he's in the top here. Let's see, Beckham. I can do the old search. He is currently 89 on your ADP as far as wide receivers. You're not off to a good start, Jay.
All right, let's go Cooper Kupp.
Okay, I think that's a much fair pick, and hopefully you're not using your
nope.
Because that's the whole point. You got to not use it. Now Cooper Kupp, he's kind of near that top. He's in the more of the 4th tier of receivers, but he is in the top 20, coming in at number 19 on his ADP, which is your average draft position.
Okay,
all right, that's one. I want you to give me at least 6.
Good gracious!
Come on, we got to train
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. All right, let's see. Amari Cooper. I don't think he's in the top 20. He's not, but I don't think he's. Yeah, he's 24. So that's I'll give you a half on that one. So
24.
Yeah, 24 ADP. I mean, Amari Cooper. He's not. That's why we're doing this. because you need to. But he's a good, kind of tier 4 receiver, and should be around, because again, when do you want to start taking wide receivers? When do you want to start taking running backs? That's the thing. Wide receivers, you got to go first.
You do.
Then running backs. There's a few running backs that you probably want to take fairly early, but then a lot of them, there's as we talked about last year, and you learned so many injuries with running backs, so many interchangeable pieces. So that's one of the things. I think that's why we're putting the preference here on wide receivers for you.
How about Jalen Waddle?
Jalen Waddle, there you go. 15th on the ADP for the Miami Dolphins. Good stuff there.
I'm getting better.
I'm trying to look at the reflection in your glasses and see what you're looking at.
No, I mean, I just golf stuff, man.
Golf stuff, I'm sure.
It's like golf 24/7.
All right, so you got one or two so far in the top 20 out of what, 5-6 guesses, something like that.
This dude traded from my Bills. Stefon Diggs.
I think he's going to be a good one. That's for sure, especially with the new connection down there with C.J. Stroud. So, but hopefully he can have a big season. He is 23rd though on the average draft position. But again, this is the culmination of all the different leagues coming into one. Again, this is specific for PPR, but he could be a good one that could have a huge year. The thing with Stefon Diggs and the Texans is you've got Nico Collins, you've got all these other weapons on the team that may take some of those initial number one targets away from him, but maybe not. We'll see. I think he's happy to be out of Buffalo and with a real good shot to win the division down there in Houston.
How does the Texans not make it all the way this year? I mean, it's insane.
Because it's very, very, very difficult to make it all the way.
True.
But yeah, I mean, they still got to, last year they made the playoffs, but, I think they won their first game, but then lost the divisional round. If I'm not mistaken, that's just trying to remember that. All right, give me another name.
All right, let's go with somebody with your 49ers. How about Ayuk?
Yeah, he's, not near the top, but he's certainly up there, that's for sure. And, all the drama right now, is he going to be a Niner? Is he not going to be a Niner? I don't know, but I think the Niners are willing to play the game that he will, and they're not going to trade him, so he's currently 14th on your ADP. Do you think Ayuk's a Niner to start the season, Jay?
Yeah.
Obviously, he's been going back and forth, and then he said he officially wants to trade. The Niners say they're not trading him because we don't have to.
Right.
And but will you play full out? Will you show? Is he going to be here? Because they were supposed to report today. I haven't heard. We're there 2 hours behind us. Haven't heard if Ayuk has reported to training camp today as it gets underway today. That's also a good sign. We're talking to Doc A about the football season coming up. Training camp comes. Preseason's right around the corner. Regular season's right around the corner. So here we go. All right, so you've got, 3 names so far in the top 20? You've got Cooper Kupp, Jalen Waddle, Brandon Ayuk, and you did... you got, unfortunately, Amari Cooper and even Stefon Diggs outside of that top 20. So you got 3 names so far in the top 20. Proud of you.
Interesting enough, I want to know where CeeDee Lamb places inside this.
If you have a decent first-round pick and you haven't picked up and nobody's taken CeeDee Lamb yet, which is probably not going to be the case, you're going to want to take CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
Yeah, he's probably, in a lot of leagues, going to be the number one receiver off draft boards. Right there with Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown. But yeah, I think CD is certainly last year just had a mega season. The reason I remember that is because Mark had traded me, CD, for somebody, and that really helped bring another trophy home in the Bay Point Fantasy League. So CeeDee Lamb, number 1 there. Tyreek Hill, number 2 in most leagues. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a massive year last year, and I think it's going to have an even bigger year this year. A lot of people high on him. A lot of people high on the Lions getting to the Super Bowl. As they came ever so close last year in the NFC Championship. And then, of course, don't forget about Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow is healthy, blonde hair and all. And Jamar Chase, right around 4 or 5 on most draft boards. And then don't forget Mr. Gritty himself. Who's that, Jay Henley?
Mr. Gritty himself?
Mr. Gritty himself. Not Smitty, but Gritty. Who did
Justin Jefferson?
Look at you.
No way. I totally guessed that. I had no idea.
That's a good guess.
Did he invent the Gritty?
He didn't invent the Gritty. He was the first one to kind of bring the Gritty to the NFL celebrations, and then, of course, took the world by storm. Mainly kids, too.
All right, so if you had to pick the Gritty or the Deion Sanders primetime, do you remember the Deion Sanders primetime?
Yeah.
Which one's better? They do have similarities.
They do. See, you're asking a guy that's got no rhythm. I'm going to go with Dion just because
he started.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Everybody's
that's the
doing
original.
different celebrations now, but yeah,
But he really started. But he started it.
Yeah,
But he didn't start it.
Yeah,
but he
him
did.
and Tio got in a lot of trouble for doing different things. But yeah, imagine if we were where we are now with being able to celebrate in
God.
social media and all that with guys like Dion and Tio and Randy Moss. It would have been a different world, that's for sure.
No doubt.
That's for sure. All right, a couple more names for you there, Jay Henley, to keep in your brain. A.J. Brown with the Philadelphia Eagles, another top wide receiver target there. Garrett Wilson, if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy this year. You know who Aaron Rodgers has to play his first game back from his injury last year?
Oh, who's he playing? Is he playing y'all?
The San Francisco 49ers.
49ers.
Monday Night Football. I think it's the, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th of September, coming to Levi Stadium. Ooh, I'm excited for that one.
That's a win.
Dude, the Jets are loaded, and if Aaron Rodgers can, stay healthy and actually play decent football, they're a force to be reckoned with. I think they're second in there. Remember, we went through the odds of each division. I think they're second in their division behind the Dolphins to win.
But there's only like 4 in every division, right?
Correct, but better to be second than go 3 years ago with the Jets and they didn't have a prayer's chance.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua, do you remember which team he played on? He was a rookie sensation last year. Really came out of nowhere and had a fantastic season, especially when Cooper Kupp got hurt. That's a big hint for you.
I get this mixed up all the time.
I know.
I want to say L.A. Rams.
That's
but
correct.
Is that correct?
That is
Okay.
correct.
All right.
Absolutely. What were you trying to mix it up with?
Raiders, maybe? I mean, that L.A. thing is all messed in.
Well, now because you have the L.A. of Las Vegas with the Raiders, and I still say the Oakland Raiders sometimes in conversation, and obviously the San Diego Chargers, which are also the L.A. Chargers. But yeah, Puka Nacua, he's going to go early in a lot of drafts this year, especially after the season he had last year. Devontae Adams, will he still be a Raider, Jay Henley? He's got Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell thrown to him last year. He was notably famous for basically getting Jimmy G benched. And if you've watched Receivers on Netflix, you kind of get to live that whole moment, which is kind of fun. So, but yeah, he's 9 on most draft boards, ADP with the Raiders. And then guy right in the top 10, hasn't even played a snap in the NFL yet. The Ohio State Buckeye. Do you know who that is? He's a son of a former great Indianapolis Colt. I can't give you any more hints than that.
Manning.
No.
Hey, give me credit for a little bit.
There's no wide receiver Manning that is playing in the NFL this year that played for Ohio State.
Don't have a clue.
Very early draft pick by the Arizona Cardinals. Come on, you got this. You got this. Buckeye. Lineage. He's in the top 10 on a lot of draft boards already, and he didn't even play a snap in the NFL. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, what did not get.
Remember that name.
Okay.
You're going to want to remember that one. And then up there pretty high, I don't know if it's surprising or it's more just you think he's going to have another big season, and that's Chris Olave with the New Orleans Saints. That's Travis's boy over there. So, and he's rounding out the top 11. Then you got Drake London from Atlanta, obviously new quarterback this year. No more Desmond Ridder. Marcus Mariota left last year, but they got old Captain Kirk Cousins thrown to Drake London. Look out for those Atlanta Falcons, at least on the fantasy side of things. Will they win a bunch of games? Who knows? But they've got a lot of weapons and a lot of fantasy production there. Number 13 on the list, Michael Pittman Jr. from the Indianapolis Colts. Hopefully Anthony Richardson can stay healthy all year this year. That'll certainly boost Michael Pittman's fantasy stats, no doubt about that. Like you said, Brandon Ayuk, 14, Jalen Waddle, 15. Mike Evans from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to go another season over 1,000 yards, and I think him and Baker have certainly developed a good relationship down there, and we get to see them play on, I believe, November 10th is when we're making the trip down to Tampa to watch the Bucs and the Niners play, and that'll be fun.
Every year they seem to kind of focus a little bit on certain positions, and last year I feel like they had their focus on quarterbacks last year. Do you feel like this year is going to be more of a receiver? I mean, obviously with the Netflix thing going and stuff.
Who's they?
Just NFL and just media that are they going to focus more on receivers this year?
I think why you're seeing more media attention on receivers this year is really because of there was a lot of receivers that were up for contract extensions and that kind of stuff. So, it's obviously, and like I said, Netflix receiver, I think that just kind of goes hand in hand. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good receivers in the draft this upcoming year as well, or this past year as well. So I think you've got a lot of rookie attention as well. Whereas as the year before. You had a lot of big-time quarterbacks coming in. But rounding out that top 20 before we have to take a quick break before the top of the hour, we got Nico Collins from the Houston Texans. He was a rookie last year, already in the top 20 on the ADP board from Fantasy Pros. And then, of course, DJ Moore up there in Chicago. He's got who throwing to him, Jay Henley? That's the last question, and then you get a break.
Oh, boy.
He was the number 1 draft pick.
Fields. Justin Fields?
Justin Fields is on the Steelers now. Remember? Who was the number 1 draft pick last year? Come on, you got like 5 seconds.
I don't have it. I got
Caleb
nothing.
Williams. Throwing to DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, all that good stuff. When we get back, it'll be time for our afternoon delight debrief here on the Inside Drive. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the Inside Drive.
All right, we got to go a little bit. Who's after Alabama?
Auburn and Athens.
I'm going to go with what Liam picked for Auburn's schedule. I'm going to go with Auburn sneaking out a win in Athens. They're coming off a loss against Alabama. They let their guard down. They overlook Auburn. Boom!
Back-to-back losses.
Back-to-back losses. Hey, it's a new year.
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a possibility of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine and a high of 90 with a gentle breeze coming out of the south at 10 miles per hour. For tonight, a mixture of mostly clear skies and a possibility of thunderstorms and a low near 79. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and a high around 88. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
PLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you thinking of doing a fundraiser? Well, Krispy Kreme Donuts next to HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan says, let's raise some dough. Earn up to 50% profit with a Krispy Kreme fundraiser in-shop or online. So let's raise some dough. At Krispy Kreme Donuts next to HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan.
And now, the afternoon delight debrief with the three degenerates from the Inside Drive. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, and all the surrounding areas. 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the beautiful Forgotten Coast. You can watch, listen, like, comment, subscribe, share, subshare, all those other combined words I do. I'm just trying to take off from baseball. You know, they got the slurve and the screwball, so we can have different verbs when it comes to what you can do with our social media channels. That's Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. ESPN Northwest Florida. If you're already a follower, we appreciate you very much for your loyalty and just hanging out with us here on the Inside Drive. Of course, you can download the free mobile app,
Google Play or Apple Store. And search 104.3. Yes.
ESPN Northwest Florida. You're getting so good at this, Jay. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
you. Get week back in.
Be on the radio, Jay.
I know, you should. Right? You should. Looking good. Nice hat, too, by the way. Inside Drive. There you go. But anyway, you can also find us ESPNPC.com. Always take time at the top of the hour to thank our studio sponsor. That's Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor, located
at the corner of 23rd and Frankfurt Avenue.
Absolutely. Always likes to say it different than I do, which is what makes our partnership perfect. Right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street, the mecca of car and boat dealerships. Bill Kramer GM's got lots of new vehicles and stocks. 25s are rolling in, so what do they got to get out?
Let's see, 24s.
Bingo.
Yeah,
absolutely. Great incentives, great deals going on right now on all those 24s as they're trying to make room for those 25s to come in. Still very confusing. It's not even August yet. We're talking about 25s, just like the video game thing.
That's like deals on top of good deals,
That's
right?
it. Deals on wheels.
On top of good deals.
There you go.
Don't even think about leaving Bay County.
I'll be
to go
right
shopping.
back.
Yeah, you got it. It's that easy. It's that quick. You can
I'll be right back.
Be back
I'll see you.
and get yourself a new vehicle. And, you know, they got used vehicles as well. Trade values are still pretty high right now. The used car market is still busting, no doubt about that. But they've got express service, regular service, tires at cost. They'll take any care of your vehicle needs right there at Bill Kramer GM. You can give them a call, 850-250-1403. Jay, what will they do? They will make it easy and take great care of you. Absolutely. And right there, they have that same motto right around the corner, and that's Kramer Marine and Outdoor. They're a Yamaha outboard full-line dealer, Yamaha Master Certified Mechanics, plural, on staff, as they've got a new certified mechanic over there, and they'll come out to you and fix your boat, or they'll tow it back to the dealership. And if you don't like the trailer or anything like I do, I don't have a boat, but if I did,
so cool.
Yeah.
I have a boat.
Yeah.
And when it comes to them coming to you or because you take your boat someplace, you got to leave it there. First of all, there's no place.
Yeah.
To put it.
Absolutely.
And then it sits in the open and it gets dirty and blah, blah, blah. But if they come and get it, or they'll come to you
and fix it
and
even on your
there
dock.
If it's not, that is wonderful.
It's their mobile service.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know that.
They do a wonderful job, and that's the kind of thing, me, I'm not I've told my horror trailer stories before. Now, I never trailered a boat or anything like that, but being a guy that, just trailers aren't my thing, that's the perfect service for me. My boat can be where it needs to be. It never has to leave where it needs to be, and they can come and fix it up right there.
I'm really liking
So you backing up a trailer is just not your thing?
I feel like if I did it more often, I could get okay with it. But I've told the Steelfield landfill story on the air before, and it's...
you jackknifed it?
Oh, more than that. More than that.
Oh, I haven't heard. This has got to be a really good story.
All right. I'll finish the Kramer Marine Outdoor, and I'll tell the story. It's embarrassing, but...
I like it even more now.
Hey, there we go. There's no secrets here on the Inside Drive, that's for sure. But that's Kramer Marine and Outdoor. They sell Seabourn, Spider, Sundance, and Skeeter. And you can check out all that new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. Yes, the trailer story.
Tell me the story.
All right, this is from many years ago. We were down here, though, obviously, Steelfield Landfill. We cleaned out a bunch of stuff from the garage. I borrowed a trailer from the golf club, got it hooked up to the old Tahoe, the old 2002 Chevy Tahoe. That thing was a beaut and just could handle anything. So I'd never been to the landfill before at that time. So got stuff, old couches, all sorts of junk cabinets, all on a trailer, and driving out there. And I took the kids with me because Beth had some real estate stuff going on. So I was like, hey, you guys want to go with me? And they're like, yeah, sure. They were younger back then, so they always wanted to go. So we drive out there. I get up there. I go through where you weigh, and then I'm like, I don't really know where to go. Nobody really told me. So I went this wrong direction first. So I had to back it out of there, which was a disaster. But apparently when I was backing it out of there, something happened where I hit something. So lo and behold, I didn't know this, but then I finally got where I needed to go. You got to go up the hill to the top of the landfill. This is the middle of the summer, so it's just hot as blazes.
Yeah.
It stinks. It's awful. And I get to the top. I'm almost to the top, kind of spinning the tires a little bit, trying to get to the top. Which
throttle down.
Yeah.
I can see him now, his teeth gritted, his knuckles white.
Nervous as heck. Like, please don't. Hopefully nothing crazy bad happens. We're out in the middle of nowhere. Beth's busy. I got both the kids with me. One of the big dump trucks is coming down, and he stops. I'm like, why is this guy stopping? I rolled down my window. He said, hey, your trailer's it's broken. It's only being held on by the chain. I was like, great. Oh. So I'm like at the top like this. So so
it's off the ball.
It's off the ball.
It's off the ball.
Broke. Apparently, when I hit one of those bumps in the spot I wasn't supposed to go to, it broke the hitch. So literally only being held on by that chain.
Safety chain.
Yeah, thank goodness for the safety chain. So I get to the top, and you got to pull to the edge, right? Because you got to get as close as you can. So there's tons of dump trucks. Other people just back it up so smoothly right to the edge. I'm struggling with, and now I'm not attached to the ball, so I don't even have good control at all.
If you don't have...
It was a disaster. I eventually stopped 30 feet away from the edge because I couldn't get any further because the ball wasn't connected. So now we're at the top. The trailer's broken. I'm unloading all this stuff, carrying it 30 feet, just dying of sweat, embarrassed. It's exhausted. The kids are like, oh my, because I had some choice words, of course. Yeah. The kids are like freaking out because they're like, why is Dad so, what's going on? Are we going to be okay? I mean, they were a lot. I think it's just like 17 or 18. Yeah. And anyway, so now I get all the stuff unloaded, probably 45 minutes to an hour later. So now we'd make the journey back down. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get this thing back. It's just the safety chain still. So I'm going forward. So I do eventually get it back down, and then I go and I pay the fee and I pull through. I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? So I stopped a truck with a guy that was coming through, and he was kind of looking at me real funny. I was like, do you have any like wire or anything like that? And he had some decent wire. So I took a good bit of it and just wrapped the heck out of it and got it. I drove very slowly, and it probably took us, I don't know, from Steelfield, probably took us an hour and 15 minutes to get back to Bay Point, where I dropped the trailer, and then life was good again. They fixed the ball, but yeah, no, it was so.
That's a horror story. I'm gonna cry.
My PTSD about backing up trailers is really stemmed from that story and that story alone.
And I understand completely now.
Yeah. So
and now every time I get my boat on the back, I'm gonna start freaking out and worrying about losing my ball.
Right.
And then.
Yeah.
And then everything breaking. I'll tell you what, if that happens to me on the way to the bay,
yeah,
it's the boat, the trailer, I had something similar happen to that over there at the city marina, where all of a sudden it drops off. Well, the dual axles dropped off.
Gotcha.
And so I had to get in and the water was only 50 degrees. So you only got about 60 seconds of mobility in that cold water. So what I had to do is we got the boat off, we tied it up, and I had to get in there and hold the axle and lift it up. Of course, it's light.
Yeah.
And you got tires, and it's really light. And hold it up, standing on top of coral and jagged things that I didn't want him to think about, and lift that up until finally the wheels got fur enough that we could pull the trailer out of there. But oh man,
what I try to tell myself when I will be driving trailers at some point, because I'm sure I will,
you're gonna have to sometime,
and I'm just gonna tell myself, everybody else out here driving trailers probably isn't as good as I think they are, and they and everybody and the boat ramp stuff. You see people do that all the time. So I try to say, okay, look, you may not be as good, but it's also probably fairly.
I mean, you would have done fine had it not broke.
Absolutely.
On you. I mean, that's something that you can't foresee coming. So you can't take the heat for that.
I still blamed Dustin for that one, for giving me a faulty trailer.
You get a pass though, right? I think golf pros get passes on trailers and stuff like that.
Now,
right?
I have...
Get a mulligan on that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I have since, the red Workman that we have that's a manual shift, and it's got trailers like when we did the coolers for the different tournaments. That one, I've gotten pretty good at backing that one up because I've had to back it down the side of the cart barn basically all the way to the door by the ice machines.
Right.
And I've done that multiple times with a manual transmission. So that's a lot smaller scale, but I think I've at least getting the gist of it.
I have more trouble with single axles than I do with dual axles.
Gotcha.
A single axle,
because it can go.
And whereas is more stable when you're backing up.
Makes sense.
Just got to embrace it. That's kind of like me, when I was selling air conditioners, right? I always had these service technicians that would always laugh at me because they would be on the job site and they would be like, hey, go get that 3/8 nut wrench over there. And I'm like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about.
What color is it?
Yeah, what color is it? Yeah, exactly. You just got to embrace it.
That's one of those things. You either grew up in that and learned it, or you have to just completely learn it on your own. And there's a lot of, it seems like you kind of go into those kind of things when you grew up with that being taught to you at a young age.
Yeah, and I'm not I'll throw my dad under the bus. Dad wasn't like mechanically.
Neither was my dad.
And he always called the professional. Yeah. And it's just the way you grow up.
Now I have learned that
it just goes to show your father was a smart man. If he's calling that's the way to go, and I'm finding that out.
Yeah.
Monthly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially living down here.
Yeah.
Things break down here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more than, you deal with a lot more elements down here.
True.
But yeah. Now, I've always learned, if it's not something I already know. Now, I have been venturing out a little more. Like I installed, now this isn't mechanical. I installed that, external SSD hard drive into the PlayStation by watching a YouTube video. So I am starting to do a little more of the YouTube video stuff. People are like, oh, yeah, just watch on YouTube. You can fix anything.
Yeah.
But you still got to kind of know what you're doing, even if you're watching a video of somebody else doing it, because do I know that this is the exact right way to do it? But I'm certainly getting there with some things. So
right.
Trying to do more things on my own as I get little bit older.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
Good for you, Ryan.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
One step at a time. One step at a time. Jay, you had a great afternoon delight debrief yesterday with the depressed bear over there in near Santa Rosa. That was a local afternoon delight debrief.
That made national news.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Just don't take selfies with any bear, let alone if it's depressed or not. All right, we'll dive into this one. This is one I was going to talk about yesterday. It's from July 22nd. Pro soccer game suspended when fans rained fish cakes onto the field. A professional soccer game was suspended in Norway when fans threw fish cakes and other objects onto the field to protest the use of the video assistant referee, or the VAR. Norwegian Eliteserien game between Rosenborg BK and Lillestrøm was initially stopped for mere minutes after kickoff due to fish cakes raining on the field. Players returned to the field from the locker room, but the game was stopped a second time when fans from both sides continued to throw fish cakes and started adding tennis balls and smoke bombs into the mix.
Are fish cakes what I think they are?
It sounds disgusting.
I think they're going to tell. I mean, your mind immediately goes to like a raw fish cake,
Like
but
a meat pie or
I'm
something.
assuming it's like I don't know. Maybe it'll tell us. Maybe it won't.
Maybe it's a cow pie.
There you go.
Yeah.
The game was officially suspended just over a half an hour of play with the score 0-0. The protests surrounded the use of VAR, which fans and even several supporter unions complain leads to referees taking too much time to make decisions, bringing the game to long halts in the meantime. The league adopted VAR in 2023. Some fans were at the game holding a banner which read, "We will never give up. VAR, go away." Lillestrøm said on social media that the game would be rescheduled. It does not tell you what a fish cake is, but it does have a picture of it. Looks like kind of a little patty, and maybe it's a little fried patty of
Like a crab cake?
kind of, but maybe a piece of cod or something like that.
Gotcha.
So, but obviously, with fish and chips and stuff like that over there, very popular.
Interesting.
But we had the what was the story we had? I think it was the Philadelphia Phillies when they had Dollar Hot Dog Night. They were throwing all the hot dogs on the field, so maybe they need to refrain from selling the fish cakes at the soccer games.
No hot chili that night.
Ooh, no hot chili indeed. That would rain on everybody in front of you while the dog hopefully flew past the net or whatever you were throwing it over. That's for sure. You got any there, Jay? You want me to go ahead?
I was just going to say, yesterday we did a bear story in Florida, right? Typically those are gators. How about let's do a gator story in the state of Washington?
Perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, reported 10-foot gator on loose in the state of Washington was actually a tegu lizard.
Ah, that makes sense.
Tegu, T-E-G-U. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
That's how I would pronounce it.
Tegu. Police in Washington investigated a report of a 10-foot alligator in the Granite Falls area, which was found to be a much smaller escaped Argentine tegu lizard. The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office issued an alert Friday on social media with a grainy photo of a reptile that was initially identified as a 10-foot gator seen heading towards the Pilchuck River. The Granite Falls Police Department speculated on Facebook that the animal might have been a crocodile. Local resident Shayna Duncan saw the photo on social media and quickly realized it wasn't any variety of a crocodilian. I guess that's another word for crocodile.
Crocodilian, absolutely. Talking about the animal, I don't know if that's genus, species, or whatever, but the crocodilian family.
Sure,
now
I'm learning
crocodiles.
a lot on this show. I'm learning about
that's our goal.
Boats and trailers. And
we talk about some sports too, but we try to bring the knowledge to the folk.
Oh, well, hey, this next paragraph is interesting. I think that it is my Argentine tegu, Taz. She wrote on Facebook.
10 feet.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I just checked his enclosure. He isn't there.
Oh.
So this guy had a tegu lizard that went.
How big is this enclosure if this bad boy's 10 feet?
And how stupid do you got to be to know that it's missing or not notice?
That's my point.
Missing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then he tells this lady, he says,
the lizard's here, but the kids are gone.
Right? He's friendly to people, and he's very loved. He's not dangerous,
I'm going to give you a quick little aside, okay? Are tegu lizards friendly? Considered an exotic pet, tegus are curious and intelligent. They are also very active. They need a lot of space to run and climb. Tegus are also very friendly, and you can train yours to do tricks. However, they can also be nippy, so they may not be feasible for households with small children.
Aha.
Nippy.
That's where the kids went.
Yep.
Mama said that the Tizoo lizards are ornery because they got all them teepees, but no toothbrush.
That's right. That's right. That's
Nippy,
right.
that's kind of like my wife.
Yeah, but you like that, Smitty. You like that.
She grabs me and
Nippy to gnome.
Yeah.
Nippy
Not
to gnome.
naggy, but nippy.
Well, how about both? I'm glad she's at work. Notice how I'm looking around.
Yeah, like you just go pop in. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Door's locked.
Is it still going?
That's it.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good stuff.
that's
Good
it.
stuff. I mean, that's 10 foot long in your house in a cage.
People are crazy, man.
No. I wonder if they shed like snakes and most
That's a
other
good question.
reptilians
That's
and
a good
gators.
question.
Well, gators don't shed, but
Not
I
typically.
think lizards do because they're reptilian. And that, I've owned a snake, a boa, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
like 15. And when they shed, they stink.
Yep. Malting, kind of, right? Same
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Yeah.
Ooh. Not good. Not good. But hey, we learned about that today, Jay. Thank you for bringing
He
it.
did.
All right. Well, I'll give you a.
Thanks. Now I got to have nightmares.
Yeah, I'll give you a happy story.
Yeah,
This
okay.
comes out of England. A trap dog hoisted out of a deep storm drain in England. I've got some pictures here in front of me to see it. He was pretty far down there, looked pretty sad, but firefighters in England came to the rescue of a dog named Bramble who had became trapped in a storm drain. Kent Fire and Rescue Services said on social media that Bramble went for a rough walk through the storm drain system in Faversham. Firefighters located the canine deep underground and removed a manhole cover, revealing the playful pup below. Rescuers lowered a large bag, which he climbed into a paw-fectly. They always have puns on these.
Yeah.
Which climbed into a paw-fectly and lifted to safety, the Post said. Bramble was not injured and reunited with his owner.
I love
Interesting.
puppy dog stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But whoever wrote
Perfectly. Sounds like you're from Boston.
Turn in
saying
your
perfect.
journalism
Yeah.
degree. Turn it in now.
Yeah. You got any other ones?
Nah, I
We only
don't.
got about 2 minutes, but this is just a quick one, and it's more you'd have to kind of see it. But rescued animals show off athleticism before the Summer Olympics. The Humane Society of the United States prepared for the upcoming Paris Olympics by showing off from some feats of athleticism by animal residents in the Black Beauty Ranch in Texas. Murchison Ranch is home to more than 600 animals, and the Humane Society released a video of some residents to showcase their natural athletic prowess in gymnastics, soccer, swimming, track and field, and wrestling. The gymnastics portion of the video features 10 lemurs and a lion named Dula, while Elsa the tiger shows off her soccer skills ability by dribbling a watermelon. The video also features Marcus Macaws, apparently. I guess that's macaws. I'm thinking so. Anyway, Macaqueus.
Okay, that sounds right.
Macaquez.
Yeah.
I don't know. Macaws, Macaw, so that's not right. This video also features, whatever that is, Ellie and Hopper, tigers Theodora and Serenity, and a kangaroo named Joey, of course, several goats, and a mother-son bear duo named Jackie and Russell. So if you want to check out that video, you can just go to upi.com/odd news, and you'll
I
see
want
it
to see
right
the
there.
tiger dribbling the basketball. You did say that. right?
Dribbling with a watermelon with his feet, soccer.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be something. Maybe we need to get him up against the South Sudan team.
Get him a contract.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Ryan, you may not remember this, but Smitty may. Was it back in the day when they had the Super Bowl pregame show? Wasn't there like an animal pregame?
Well, there was a puppy football.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the Puppy Bowl. They still do
Puppy
that.
Bowl. They
Yep,
still
they
do that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They're still rocking and rolling.
I think they're even expanding that to something else.
I
don't
think
think it's cats.
They had another animal this past Super Bowl, but I don't remember what that was. But
Still going, huh?
yeah, I mean it's just a bunch of puppies playing with toys in a arena.
I got
But I
you.
mean everybody loves puppies, so
Yeah.
it's good for the soul.
It is.
It's good for the soul.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got to take a quick break. That's your afternoon delight debrief. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, LS Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging, strike 3.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. A likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze around 10 miles per hour out of the south and temps near 90. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and a chance of thunderstorms and be warm at 79. Likely thunderstorms tomorrow and a high 88. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Have a quick stretch first.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
Must have pulled something playing hoops last week.
And Jay Henley.
I know you're not putting that rock up from here. You ain't got no Jay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Smitty's been bringing the heat today with the rejoiner music. I mean,
this is fun.
It is.
That's 90s rock.
I know. That's our wheelhouse.
It is.
90s rock is like, I live for 90s rock.
Yes, sir.
I mean, nothing new is worth good. So,
Concur.
But, yeah, absolutely. And it's funny too. The kids nowadays too. I mean, even 80s rock. Like we put a playlist together for Dynasty, and several of the songs are 80s rock, and I just love that. And I just don't know if we're in this cycle where, the older music's always better. And, I just feel like since we've really, in the last maybe 10 years or so, I don't really know much about modern music and all that. I mean, do you?
No, not at all. What song?
It all sounds techno rock to me nowadays. So, this is back in the day when, and of course, this is a mixture of both though, because they are doing, the
absolutely
that stuff, and then live instruments.
That's it.
Pretty soon it's all going to be just synthetic something or other. And
the actual artistry and creativity of being a musician or somebody who plays instruments, it's long gone.
That's
because everything's so digital now.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll switch back. I mean, the direction we're going, we may not have any internet or digital stuff. So
I still have my 4-track recorder that I used to use to do bands with.
That's awesome.
Back in the day when I did that, when I traveled with bands and music and stuff. This 4-track is like, you're never taking my 4-track away.
That's it. And one of the things too, I mean, just talking about that real quick is, I watch a lot of documentaries, sports documentaries, a lot of older sports in these documentaries. And it's just, you watch, these big games or events and if it was, pre-2000s, nobody's up there doing this during that stuff. Everybody's actually watching it.
True.
Which is nice to see because, we just live in a world where everything's got to be taken a picture of and a video of.
I agree.
Yeah, and people are using their cameras and doing that and sliding back and forth and trying to get the whole game, when over here on the right-hand side, they're missing, a foul, touchdown, or a fight, or something really good.
Absolutely.
I shouldn't say fights are really good.
I know what you mean.
But,
entertaining. Or to catch your attention normally, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good.
Yep. So what's the moral of that, Jay?
Put you down your phone
and live in the moment.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And I should probably practice what I preach too, but it's harder than
it's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you know what's going to be tough too?
What's that?
The Paris Olympics. We are 2 days away from games getting underway. The opening ceremony is coming up this Friday, and it's going to be an opening ceremonies like none other. Jay Hanley, you know why that is?
It's in Paris.
Because they got the Thames River clean.
Yeah, well, and they're doing the opening ceremony on the river. It's
so
going to be.
They got it cleaned up enough that they can do that. It was gnarly looking. I mean,
it's kind of like the Hudson River in that Seinfeld episode where Kramer's in there swimming for his back, and it's just don't go in the Hudson. Yeah, but the president of France got in the river not too long ago to prove that it was clean. I don't know if that actually proves because she could be getting in a dirty river, but they're going to be doing a lot of events in that river, and including the open ceremonies. So that'll get underway 6:30 Central Time on Friday. Of course, that's on NBC as they are the home of Olympics forever, but it's going to be a pretty cool one to watch. It's I don't know if it's the first ever that's not in a stadium in an arena, but it's going to be a different open ceremonies that we're used to. That's for sure. I think it's going to include a lot of boats, a lot of cool things. So you want to make sure you tune into that. As I was watching a little thing yesterday, the opening ceremonies of the Olympics is the most watched event. It's not a concert, but like an event, something like that in the world, Jay Henley. So you can't screw it up.
Now, when is this going down again?
Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Okay.
Opening ceremonies, and they've been preparing for this for 500 days.
Isn't the torch coming on a barge or a ship from across the ocean or something really
like
weird
that?
like
yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm not a smart man, but isn't that 12:30 a.m. Paris time or something like that? Are they doing it that late or that early?
I believe they're 6 ahead of us.
6 ahead of us. So yeah,
6:30, so 12. Yeah,
they're doing it straight up,
unless it's not live.
Okay.
That's a good point, though. That's a good point.
No.
Yeah.
They would be doing it just for the American audience if that's what they were.
Well, and you got to think too. People are watching it from all over the world, so you're not going to be able to cover. Yeah, whoever.
More Americans in it this year than ever before.
Yes.
Rumor true. Yes
Rumor
or no?
is true. Rumor is true. More Americans in it than ever before because we have some more sports that have never been in the Olympics before, like the breaking and some other things.
Yeah,
and
pickleball.
Pickleball. Looking forward to seeing that. Flag football coming in the next Olympic. Yeah, pickleball's.
Oh my God, no!
It may not be in this Olympics. Let me see. I've got it all right here in front of me.
Joking.
It's not in this Olympics, but I believe it will be in the next Olympics along with flag football.
Olympics is gone to
Go to a local sporting goods store and try to get an upscale pickleball.
Try to get
paddle.
A cheap pickleball.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
They make an upscale pickle,
dude. They go $300, $400, $500 for paddles.
No way.
And this is a ping pong paddle, like an upscale ping pong paddle.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's it's. I don't know, but I mean, you can't find a $50 one. Because we did that Memorial Day pickleball tournament, and I tried to find, and we only had 3 paddles, so I tried to find an extra paddle, and the cheapest paddle was $44.99.
All right, so
and I know what I'm doing. My trees in the backyard now.
Making pickleball.
I'm making pickleball paddles.
That's it.
Disclaimer: I was on Google Machine yesterday trying to find pickleball courts. Does Public Sports Park have pickleball courts?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
There's a shortage of pickleball courts in Bay County.
Is that a pickleball on 390? Is that a pickleball?
No.
The lights on all night? They look like a tennis court.
That's the Panama City Racket Club, and I don't think they've converted any. I think they have a lot of clay courts there.
6 clay courts there.
You couldn't do a clay court conversion to a pickleball court, but a lot of the hard courts, they're putting 2 pickleball courts on 1 hard court, and you're seeing a lot of the dual line tennis.
Pickleball's the same surface, isn't it?
Clay, it's the same hard surface. Yeah, absolutely. But they don't play it on clay or grass. They just play it on the hard court.
Okay.
Yeah. So you wouldn't be able to convert a clay court to a pickleball court.
You have to dig it up.
Unless you converted it completely to a hard court. Yeah. But I think pickleball will be in the 2028 Olympics along with flag football. But I'm looking forward to flag football because I just want to see how that's going to work with. Is it going to be,
NFL football players playing in it, or is it going to be, other players because how does it work? Because the Summer Olympics is always this time of year. It's always when these NFL players are going to training camp. So I know NHL, when there's an Olympic year, they have the Olympic break. The NBA has, the NBA doesn't matter because it's in the summer. But you have all these other sports that have their breaks. How is that going to affect football? Or NFL players not going to be eligible?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, which country, this is a toss-up, Jay Henley, which country has the most gold medals in history? And I think this is combining both the Winter and Olympics. Let's just live in the summer. I think I can sort it out by that. Let's see. Filter. All right. Okay. Nope. It's still the same. Anyway, which country has the most Olympic medals of all time? This is a toss-up. It's an easy one.
There's so many people that live in Japan, I would think...
Japan?
Japan.
Japan's not that big.
It's not? Or China. How about China?
China is yes, that has the largest population.
Okay. So let's go China, just by default.
I said it was a toss-up, or an easy one, but it certainly wasn't
not.
for you. China is currently 4th on the list, total Olympic medals by country, by just total Olympics in general. They have 900 total Olympic medals. 4th on the list.
Okay.
Number 1 on the list.
America.
They have 3,105 total medals. How many gold medals? Over 1,200 or under 1,200?
Let's go slightly over.
Slightly is exactly correct.
Yes.
1,229 total gold medals, 1,000 silver medals, 178 bronze medals. What team? I'll open up to both of you gentlemen. Which team or which country? Which country has the second most gold medals of all time, and it's less than half of the United States of America?
Germany.
Good guess, because they are up there, but they're not number 2. That's a great sounder, too. It was a loud one, but that was good. All right, he guessed Germany. What do you got?
Let's go to our friends north of the border. Let's go Canada.
Canada's not even close, brother.
Oh.
Canada's so far down here with 604 total medals. They may not even be in the top 20. Germany's number 3 on this list, 1 ahead of Canada.
Czech Republic.
Africa.
Africa's a continent, but that's okay.
Okay.
Czech Republic, no.
So I got to pick a country in the continent. Of Africa.
No, yeah.
Did I get it right if I did that?
No.
No, okay.
No, I don't even know when the first...
I was just kind of broadening my guess there.
It's changed names over time. One of the times it changed post-Cold War.
Czechoslovakia?
USSR.
Bingo.
Boom.
It's not the USSR anymore, but yes, the USSR, Soviet Union, Russia has the second most gold medals of all time. Right there, basically just a couple ahead of Germany. Very, very close. But Soviet Union has 473 total gold medals. Germany has 384. Then number 4 on the list is one you've already said there, Jay Henley.
Number 4, did I say Canada? I said Canada.
Yeah, but I've already scolded you for saying Canada.
Yeah, you did. Who did I say? Did I say Japan?
You worked into this other country by starting with Japan.
Oh.
Japan is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th on total medals
Czech
list.
Republic, I said. Did I say
North
something
or
else?
South Korea?
No Koreas. You've already said it. The largest country in the world.
Russia.
China.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. China. Russia was the answer for number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. So, a lot of teams. Canada way down there, which, let's see, this goes, man, there's a lot of countries I have never heard of, but some have had gold medals. Man, it just keeps going.
South Sudan is in the running this year.
They're in there. I don't know if they're going to get a gold medal. There's a lot of teams that just have one. Tonga. Let's see. Bottom of the list, Togo. That's when me and Liam play the countries game all the time where we got to just name countries until we run out. And he always goes with Togo, and I always claim that it's not a country. But in fact, it is. They've got 1 bronze medal in their
country. Is that
country.
one of those countries that was another country but then got in a war and changed their name so they wouldn't be that country anymore?
Probably. There's probably a lot of those on this list that are down there.
Hey, did you play the Olympics on the Nintendo game with the power pad? Do you remember that one?
Yes.
That was...
Yep.
That was so good.
I mean, we didn't know any better. I mean, the duck hunt, the Olympics, all those, they kind of brought, which was unbelievable technology at that time.
Yeah.
Now here you go. You can pretty much put on a VR headset and bring yourself right into the Olympics, throwing jav and all that stuff. But
was that power pad looking like the Twister pad back in the day? Do you remember
yeah,
it does look like
same
that.
feel. Probably not. Was it? I don't think it was as big as the Twister pad.
Yeah.
Twister's still around. Twister hasn't changed a bit. You can't really mess with Twister.
Now, you could cheat with that Olympic game in the Nintendo with using your fist.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that?
No.
Oh,
I had integrity.
I had integrity.
Leave it to Jay to tell you how to cheat.
Yeah,
on a Nintendo
in a
game,
basic.
man. Come on,
basic
use your fist.
No, man. Oh, man. But yeah, the Olympics.
You're a bad influence, Jay.
I'm sorry.
He is.
My apologies.
Opening ceremony is getting started on Friday the 26th, but that is not when the Olympic Games actually get underway. There's a few sports that start on Thursday. A couple of those being football. You've got team handball. Jay, do you know what team handball is? Great game, by the way. We used to play it in high school gym.
I would think like a hacky sack.
Not even close.
I know those balls are hard, and you got to wear gloves, and you go slamming up against the wall and falling on the ground, getting kicked and stepped on. And then team makes it even harder because you have even less room.
Yeah. Well, actually, I know what you're talking. You're just talking about like
handball.
wall ball handball.
Right, yeah.
Team handball is where you have it's on a court. You've got two goals, and basically you've got two teams, and you can't move with the ball. So you got to throw the ball and then work the way down the court. I think you might be able to take one or two steps, or you could jump and throw it, but it's basically like small soccer with a ball in your hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or basketball.
Team handball. Absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about. I played that growing up
I was
as
just
well.
trying to imagine, you know.
That would be intense.
Playing in teams on a court like that would be insanity. I mean, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it would.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You get your teeth busted out, but it'd still be fun.
Yeah.
It would be dicey, that's for sure. That is for sure. A player may stop, catch, throw, bounce, or strike the ball in any manner in any directions using hands, fists, arms, head, body, thighs, or knees. However, a player may not intentionally touch the ball with any part of the body below the knee. The ball almost always has to be played with the hands. Players typically can advance the court against the ball down the court by passing it to each other. A player in possession of the ball may not take more than 3 steps without shooting, passing, or dribbling the ball. In handball, dribbling typically involves bouncing the ball and catching it, a slight variation from the more fluid dribbling associated with basketball. So, reason why I brought that one up, that one gets underway on Friday in addition to football, aka soccer, and then one of my favorite Olympic sports, and that is the rugby sevens. Just a great fun game to watch, and it's really not that complicated, but man, I
like rugby more than I do soccer.
Yeah,
by far.
It's just,
I mean, that's a real game.
And that's you gotta have some large cojones to play that game, or be a large human in general.
Yeah.
Remember, we saw some people playing rugby when we were walking out.
A large human with small cojones.
Yeah.
Safer.
Yeah. There you go. But yeah, it's a fun one. I mean, it's a cool sport to watch, especially if you know how it goes. It's not really complicated, but man, they are hitting each other hard with no pads on. No pads on at all. And then the other one getting underway on Thursday is archery. So we got 4 sports getting us going out of the, I don't know how many there are. There are quite a few in the Olympics nowadays. And then your first medal medal event where you're getting some medals being done on the 28th, which is Sunday. You got archery in their first medals. That's the women's team bronze and women's team gold medal match. And then next up, you got the canoe slalom. That's the women's kayak single file. Final. You ever watch that one, Jay?
I have. It's been a while, but
well, you'll have an opportunity to watch it again because that'll be cool. Cycling, mountain bikes got a medal on Sunday.
Wonder what the first sport ever played in the Olympics. What was the first sport?
It had to be, obviously it was in Greece.
So that's when you said something about, shooting arrows and stuff like that. That's what made me think of that. Wonder what, was it javelin? Was it arrow? Was it hurling the ball? Whatever you call it.
I'll tell you what, when we're going to take a quick break, when we get back, that's a great question, and we're going to go over that, Jay Henley, and we'll guess what you think. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be back with our final segment on this beautiful Tuesday.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for college football and the Auburn Tigers.
He dives! He's in! Touchdown Auburn!
We heard you, Tiger fans. So this season, we're airing every single game. And you can take that to the bank.
It's picked off in the end zone!
Plus, the biggest games in the SEC and around the country play here on your official station for college football, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore portable building dealer, Panama City.
Take control of your adventure and discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. The road is yours in an all-new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per 1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/3/24.
Every game matters as the Atlanta Braves keep battling in the East, and you won't want to miss a pitch.
2-0 pitch. Swung on and rocked down the left field line. Rolling down the line all the way to the wall. 2-1 Atlanta here in the fourth.
Tonight, don't miss Atlanta Braves baseball as Snit and the boys get another shot at Ellie Dela Cruz and the Cincinnati Reds at Truist Park.
Coverage starts at 6, first pitch at 6:20 on your exclusive home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The locals love it.
You're gonna love this. You are my favorite. It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round.
And we are back. Jay's favorite song being played by Smitty. You know your thing.
Yes, sir. That's a good one.
There you go. Well, Queen action to bring us in on this final segment on Tuesday. Smitty, we appreciate you hanging out with us today. And that was a fantastic question that we're going to dive into in just a second. But, Jay, we talked about it before. Some breaking news really quick. Brandon Ayuk has reported to training camp for the San Francisco 49ers. The team has not held extensive contract, Scott, since May. And because of that, we know a couple weeks ago, Ayuk formally requested a trade, to which the Niners responded, "We're not trading you." So here he is at training camp. So good sign for Niners fans there that still want Brandon Ayuk part of that potent offense. We'll see how training camp goes and see if he gives 110% this season and maybe gets that extension next year. But we got to answer this question. Great question. Talking a little about Olympics as the Paris Summer Olympics get underway. Technically Thursday, but opening ceremonies are on Friday on the Seine, whatever it's called, river up there in Paris, leading right to the Eiffel Tower. Smitty asked a great question. What were the original sports that were in the ancient Greek Olympic Games?
The very first one.
The very first one, way back in the day. BC times there, Jay Henry.
Yes, sir.
BC times. The ancient Olympic Games were initially a one-day event until the great year of 684 BC, when they were extended to 3 days. In the 5th century BC, the games were extended to again cover 5 days, and the ancient games included running, long jump, shot put, javelin, boxing, pancration, and equestrian events. One of those events being the pentathlon. The pentathlon became an Olympic sport with the addition of wrestling in 708 BC and included the following: running, jumping, and discus throw. Running events included the Stade race, which is a pre-eminent test of speed, covering the Olympia track from one end to the other. It was basically a 200-meter foot race. The Dialos, or Yulos, which is 2 stades, which is a 400-meter foot race. And the Dulichos, ranging between 7 and 24 stades. So a stade being a 200-meter race. So, that's basically what's similar to your 5,000-meter race, which is the longest Olympic race. I think 5,000 meters is the correct one on that. It takes like 25, 30 minutes to do. So they even had some long-distance running events back in the Greek days. Jumping. Athletes used stone or lead weights called halteres to increase the distance of the jump. They held on to the weights until the end of their flight and then jettisoned them backwards. So they were jumping with stones and throwing them over.
Jumping forward and tossing backwards.
That sounds more complicated than just jumping forward.
With no shoes.
That's more complicated than backing up a trailer.
I would agree.
Right.
And more physically exhausting, maybe. I don't know. The discus throw, which a lot of these still live. Oh, it's crazy is how long these have been going.
They're still doing all this.
We're rocking and roll with all this still. The discus was originally made of stone and later of iron, lead, or bronze. The technique is very similar to today's freestyle discus throw. Wrestling. This was highly valued form of military exercise without weapons. It ended only when one of the contestants admitted defeat. Back in the day before refs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You just kept going until you gave up.
Yeah.
That's kind of like slapping out in WMA.
Yep.
I mean,
tapping out. Yeah,
tapping
absolutely. Huh. But the ref can end that too. But I wonder how many people perished.
I was thinking the same thing. No hospitals, I'm sure. I mean,
they had medical stuff, but this is BC.
Yeah.
Boxing. Boxers strapped himantes around their hands to strengthen their wrists and steady their fingers. Initially, these straps were soft, but as time progressed, boxers started using hard leather straps, often causing disfigurement of their opponent's face.
Oh, yeah.
The version of bare knuckle boxing, except with leather straps there on your hands.
Bring it back.
There you go.
I would love
leather straps.
Man, I mean, you get hit even lightly with it. That's like a brass knuckle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to cut you open.
Disfigurement.
I got hit with leather straps back in 1986.
That was called a switch, though.
Yeah.
That's because you were cheating on your Nintendo and Dad caught you.
And
that's right.
Wanda. We still got to get Wanda on the line. We need story time with your mom.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do. I'm going to make it happen before football season gets up. I'm going to reach out. All right. The pankration. If I said that right. Pankration. Pankration. This was a primitive form of martial art combat, wrestling, and boxing, and was considered to be one of the toughest sports. Greeks believed that it was founded by Theseus when he defeated the fierce Minotaur in the labyrinth. So they basically put a game together based off of mythical creatures and fighting them. So, intense.
That sounds more like MMA cage fights than anything else that was.
Absolutely.
I see where they got that from now. They stole it.
They stole it from the Greeks.
People back in the BCs.
The BC era. Equestrian events. These included horse races, chariot races, and took place in the Hippodrome, a wide, flat, open space. Hippodrome was invented. There's a place in Augusta, Georgia. I think it's on the north side anyway. It's called the Hippodrome. Actually, that might be in South Carolina in the Aiken area. But yeah, it's called the Hippodrome. And I didn't even know that that's what these open flat areas were called back in the day.
Interesting. Hippodrome.
Hippodrome. Just like that. Drome with a hippo in front of it.
Huh.
Hippo.
All right. I have to Google that, see what that looks like.
It's just a large, flat, open area.
Why am I envisioning one of those wooden circular things that people ride motorcycles in?
Oh, like the cage? Yeah.
But I want to call that a hippodrome for some reason or another.
That sounds super familiar.
Well,
it was that.
I mean, but I'm obviously I'm wrong.
No. Well, the velodrome.
Flat about it.
Yeah. The velodrome is where the bicycles go around in a circle and it being, banked like turns.
Yeah.
I think that's called a velodrome, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, are they in a sphere?
No, it's.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The only thing I can find is they call it the Globe of Death. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Name for it.
It is definitely a good name for it. That is an art form that you got to have some serious, like you said earlier, cojones to do that. But
Very interesting. I'm looking at a hippodrome right now. I mean, it's very ancient looking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
the Hippodrome in Aiken had like a open roof, or it had a roof, but it was like open on the sides. I think they did like rodeos and stuff like that in there. So they did some outdoor different events and whatnot. But yeah, good question, Smitty. And as the original BC times, Olympics been going on for a while there, Jay.
I thought maybe the first BC thing would have been, cavemen throwing wives or something like that.
Yeah.
If you can throw your wife.
The wife toss.
Yeah, there you
that
go.
doesn't mean it wasn't an Olympic sport at some point.
Because there's a lot of them that.
Yeah. Maybe that don't exist anymore. Is there one you're actually really looking forward to, Jay?
Oh boy,
I know.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I do like the track and field. That kind of.
What's your favorite track and field event?
Oh, you're really going deep here.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to get inside your mind.
Have to be the hurdles, man. Have to be.
The hurdles is good.
Hurdles.
Yeah, I like the relay. I don't know how far.
When you screw up on a hurdle,
you're done.
You're done. That hurts.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And maybe even the person next to you or behind you is done.
Yeah.
If they don't make the right move.
I always feel like the person that always is on the very top edge, I know that they start up front, but it just feels like they have a disadvantage for some reason.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, math.
I know it.
Math says it's the exact same distance over a long race, but that's why like your 100 meters and stuff like that, it's just on a straightaway. There's no curve.
Right.
I'm with you on that one because it's a psychological disadvantage.
Absolutely. But in the long distance races, like a 400 and stuff like that, you got to stay in your lane. But like in the long distance races, you can come to the inside. Absolutely, absolutely, because that would be an advantage for sure. But you got the 4x2, the 4x. It's just so much fun track and field events out there, and a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, what about? I feel like you're a big beach volleyball guy.
Yeah, I could watch that. Yeah, that's
maybe
pretty
a big fan
cool.
of the Spanish team and some of the teams from over there in Europe.
One of my favorite pastimes is sitting at schooners and watching the beach volleyball.
There you go. I didn't know that was one of your favorite pastimes, but we learned that.
It's a good pastime.
We learned that today.
Yeah.
Well, volleyball gets underway on Saturday, the 27th. So, and what's cool, if you do have Peacock, if you sign up for Peacock for that one NFL playoff game and you forgot to cancel it, you get to watch every sport that you want with Peacock. That's one of the cool things about the streaming stuff nowadays is if you do have that kind of stuff, you can literally jump to any sport, any game, and just the interactive experience. Back in the day, not back in the day, but even like 10 years ago, I'd be like, all right, you get like USA, NBC, all these channels, and you're trying to find, okay, I want to find where this one thing is.
Or you can watch 4 channels or 2 channels at the same time. I was like, that gives me headache.
Yeah.
Especially the Olympics for me is one of those things where you get to see a lot of sports that you don't normally get to see. Right. So yeah, do I want to watch the soccer and absolutely. But do I want to, watch some table tennis? Do I want to watch some badminton? Do I want to see the surfing competition, trampoline gymnastics? Like that's really hard to do, and to watch these people do it, the best in the world at these particular sports is pretty neat. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. A lot of Olympic athletes too. This will be, I know, I forget his name. I should know it off the top of my head. This will be his last ever Olympics, a tennis player, and I forget who said it, but somebody who's, kind of getting to the twilight of their career, that's for sure. But, they do have the couple new sports in there, Jay, and one of those is the breaking, which that doesn't go until way later in the Olympics, August 9th and 10th, and that's just breakdancing.
Is it?
Just breakdancing, which is extremely difficult, but here it is, and it's an Olympic sport.
I just don't feel like we'll be good at that.
I think we're the ones that kind of invented breaking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't think that should be an Olympic sport. I mean, that's an entertainment kind of thing.
It's a stretch, no doubt.
It's a cultural kind of thing.
It is a cultural thing.
Because we did more or less invent it, and so that puts other countries at a disadvantage. And plus, who judges?
Yeah.
It's a matter of taste, not what they can do, because they all do this basically the same thing. They go from spinning on their butt, knees, and elbows to their head, and then back down again. But an Olympic sport, they're going to replace that with pickleball.
I think they're just going to continue adding. I don't know.
If it was 1984 and we had American Bandstand again, I would say we would get the gold medal.
I still think we're going to get the gold medal in breaking, also known as breakdancing or b-boying. You remember that term?
Yeah.
Was invented in the Bronx. It originated in the Bronx, New York City, in the late '60s and early '70s. It was created by African American and Latino youth during the rise of the hip hop culture. Breaking is a core element of hip hop, along with DJing, MCing, and graffiti. Breaking is characterized by acrobatic floor moves, stylized footwork, and athletic moves like back and head spins. It's largely improvisational, incorporates moves from a variety of sources, including martial arts, gymnastics, Lindy Hop, and disco. Some say breaking may have originated as a non-violent alternative to gang fighting, with dancers breaking against each other instead of fighting. Breaking was inspired by DJ Kool Herc, who noticed that young people would get on the dance floor when the breaks of the tracks he was playing came in.
You say gang fighting, I think we're going to get the gold medal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if you've probably never seen this either, but there's also a combination form of dribbling soccer balls and breaking at the same time. If you've never watched that, I don't even know how you get good at that. The hand-eye coordination needed to be successful in that is pretty insane, that's for sure.
But it said, you mentioned when you were doing the description that it said interpretive dancing. So therefore, if you're a judge, you have to be sensitive to interpretate what they're trying to express on stage or on the floor.
I'm sure there's some kind of criteria they have to follow and get points.
Like I want to say, how do they rate ballerinas or beauty queens or something like that? There's some kind of criteria. There's some kind of this is good and this is bad kind of line, but how do you do that with breakdancing?
I guess we'll find out come August 9th and 10th. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing all these various Olympic sports, as there's quite a few in here nowadays, and you can watch them all there on Peacock, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Moral of the story from today's show? Give me one.
Moral of
about 30 seconds.
Oh, my gosh.
Or your how about your takeaway from today's show? I'm going to start doing that every day, so you better be prepared.
The takeaway. Summer Olympics are here.
True. That's a good takeaway.
That is a good takeaway. We're not the best at the Olympics, is what it says.
No, we are, by far.
And never ask Ryan to help you move.
That's true. I mean,
that's a solid
as long as you don't have a trailer. I've driven a U-Haul trucks, all that. Just as long as it doesn't have a trailer, I'll certainly help you move.
Yeah.
But no, I think we've got more medals double than any other country in the entire world. So
okay.
I think we're safe to have that lead. Will we be the winners? We shall find out. But Smitty, we appreciate you hanging out with us behind the glass.
I had a large time.
There you go. Hey, absolutely. Always a good time here on the Inside Drive. I know the afternoon Underdogs are coming up at 4 p.m. Real quick, we got a big game tonight, Dynasty Flag Football against the Hurricanes. Be there or be square. We'll report back on that tomorrow. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. You guys enjoy the rest of your day and the afternoon Underdogs. Have a great rest of your day.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many. I don't think they're going to fall apart.
No.
I mean, they're still Michigan. They're still going to be competitive, but